One of the keys to becoming stronger in your connection to spirit is the practice of conscious breathing. And it's about using the breath to bring us out of the thinking mind and into the heart and into the third eye. And really what it's doing is making us more present with the moment so that we can allow information to flow more freely from the energies around us. And it really requires practice. And I think it's interesting because it's not only mediumship that breath provides balance in. It's also the case with emotional experience. If, for instance, you are triggered by someone else's behavior or words, and the experience of anger arises in you, if you choose to breathe consciously and deeply, to ask for help from God, and to be present with that feeling, rather than following the story behind the feeling and then throwing the feeling at the person who triggered it, you learn that the process of doing this allows the feeling to be seen, to be witnessed, to be allowed, and then to dissipate into the energy field and make you a wiser, wholer person. The more you practice doing this, the more you practice breath in the face of difficult emotion, the wholer and wiser you become, and the less attack becomes your mode of operation. So rather than blaming the person who triggered the emotion, eventually you get to the point where you say thank you to the person, maybe not out loud, and maybe not even always consciously, but you recognize that the feeling that was triggered within you was a feeling that existed all along and that needed to be looked at and witnessed and allowed and then merged with the rest of your energy field. And it's the same with mediumship. In the experience of practicing mediumship, it's imperative that you are fully present in the moment so that you can pick up on the energies around you, see what you're being shown, what images are being brought through, what the energy may have looked like in life, songs the energy may have enjoyed in life, experiences, the relationship to the sitter, the person that you're reading. All of those things only come through when you're able to be fully present in the moment. And the way to become fully present in the moment is to continue to return to the breath, because it's only natural, especially when you're new to mediumship, but all throughout the experience of life and mediumship, it's only natural to return to the thoughts a lot, to allow fear or questioning or lack of belief to infiltrate your experience in the present moment so that it affects your ability to pick up on the information. And by breathing and returning yourself to the heart and to the third eye, those experiences of doubt or questioning are put aside for the moment so that the information can flow freely. And a lot of times people will ask, why is breath so important? How does breath play a role? And I mean, I think the obvious answer is, of course, that breath is life. And so returning to the breath puts us right in our body and reminds us to be in the present moment. But I think it's deeper than that. I think if you consider the physical aspect of it, it really makes sense with the emotional and the spiritual aspect of it. So if you practice yoga, or if you've ever tried to do a balancing pose where you lift a leg, particularly really hard ones where you lift a leg behind you, it's almost impossible to maintain your balance if you don't completely focus on the breath and on the grounding of your body into the earth. If for one moment you start to think about the pose or start to become distracted by a thought or even think anything at all, even if it's about the pose itself, you'll find yourself faltering and you'll probably lose your balance unless you immediately return to the breath, breathe, 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 and sense your rootedness to the earth. Those two things keep the balancing pose in place. And I think that's really telling for mediumship and for emotional experience. Breath keeps us balanced. It keeps us present. It keeps us able to stand straight or sit straight and receive information without being flooded by all of the input that we're flooded by when we're not doing that, when we're just walking or driving or living our lives, and all kinds of sensory information distracts us from the present moment. In those moments where we breathe and make ourselves completely present to what's around us, we find that balance, and then the flow is allowed.